Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having an awesome day today. I am. I figure I shared this with you as you guys could see more action figures this time. Figma, Good Smile, E.M.M.I from Metroid Dread. This is a pretty big size box, so warning, this is going to be a pretty sizable box if you do decide to get this. I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store. Again, I am not affiliated with them. That's just where I made my purchase. This was around $150. You could probably get it cheaper from other places, but that's where I got mine. Again, awesome packaging there. Pretty good size box. So we turn here, you got the figure itself standing straight up and down, pretty sizable. And in here on the back, we've got the figure in all the different poses with the different accessories, looking pretty cool. So certainly very excited to get this one open here. Alrighty, so before we move on to the awesome figure there, that's E.M.M.I, you do get a couple of accessories in the box. Of course, this you always get your instructions, right? I would recommend you go through them. Simply because a lot of the pieces feel a bit delicate and you don't want to end up breaking. It shows you how to pop off the legs, the head, you know, which way the arms and the joints can actually move, etc. So pretty cool. You also do get, of course, your little Figma bag, which is awesome because this is what I will be using to store the accessories. Moving on, you get this nice hefty stand for this big guy here. It's a nice, I guess, an X, you know, pretty cool, clear see-through plastic and feels very sturdy. And along with that, you get this nice articulated arm, right? And you could take this, you've got screws here that you can tighten on each side if you wanted to. And you get 3 slots on the stand, so if you want to place this here, you can. And of course, you got your peg here for you know, so you could put that here on the back. There's a peg right there. All right, so cool little stand there. Next thing, you get these 2 little pieces here. I don't know if you guys can see them. I'm gonna try and get these to focus. These are replacement parts for the head. They go along here. I don't know if you could see, but there's 2 little sharp edges here on each side. They go along with this piece. Now this is the head pretty much when the E.M.M.I here is like in sentry mode, right? When he's looking for Samus. And the way, you know, this is attached is you replace these 2 sides here with these, and these slide in place here, like so, and they're gonna sit on both sides. And then that's what helps to grab this section to the head there. The 2 sections here just kind of pull off. This is done really well. I love it. I mean, it's just plain white plastic. It's got, you know, again, some nice line work. So again, pretty much what you saw in the game. It does feel a little thin. You know, it's a nice quality, but I'm afraid, you know, just be really careful with it so you don't break anything. And then the last thing is you do get an alternate head. The head can pull off forward. And of course, this is the head with the giant stabbing. I always call it a needle, but I know it's not a needle. But what, you know, when E.M.M.I finally catches up to Samus, again, you can replace the head to get that look there. And this one's got 4 tabs. And the one thing to pay attention to is that they're all of different size, and then that's sort of what helps you to put the head, you know, in the right orientation. I'll show you that in a second. But again, this is pretty well done. It is pretty sharp. It's nice quality plastic. You know, the purple, the white, I think they've done a pretty good job there. And then that is it for the accessories. Again, not many accessories, but this guy is it's pretty big. Again, I knew the E.M.M.Is were much bigger than Samus. I just didn't realize how much bigger. Right now I have this guy standing up pretty much up and down, and it's got some nice looks there. Reminds me of the game Portal, I guess because of the white and black and the way it's used. But let's give you, I guess, a bit of a closer look here on the head. Just trying to give you guys, there we go. And the head, again, really well done, proper creepy. Again, you got the one big giant red glowing eye with this purple accents and the black plastic. I think they've done a pretty good job. What I do like is the neck muscles here, or if you want to call them that. Again, they're textured in this black, almost rubbery like finish. Again, really cool. And this kind of pushes in and out. Just got to be careful not to pull the whole head, but it extends out a bit, so then that gives you the ability to give you a bit more range when looking up or down. And the head can move up, so you look up and then down. One aspect of this head, as I mentioned to you guys, is that you can pull this out, so then that gives you the ability to replace the head. And here, same deal, right? You've got the 4 different size tabs that you need to pay attention to when putting these back in. That'll sort of give you a bit of a guidance. If you want to take that head off and replace it with this one, you just have to pay attention to the way that these are sort of in there. So I should go something like that. And of course that gives you the look of the pretty much game over screen for most. But again, that looks really cool. But we could pull this out and replace it with the other head. You just pull it out. It's kind of held in there by some pressure. So putting that back in, you kind of just slide that in. These shoulder blades here, or shoulder pads, are there is some slight articulation there, so you can move them left and right and front and back slightly. So it looks like there is a bit of a ball joint action there, so you can get these out of the way if you need to, or just move them, whatever. The finish is really nice. Again, nice white plastic, and whatever detail they've managed to add there kind of fits the character really well. And moving on here to the shoulder pads, these pads do move out of the way as well. There is a little ball joint here, just you can slide them. You can slide these back and forth, and you could see the ball joint there on the arm. And then that kind of gives you the ability to raise the arm like so. And again, it's a ball joint, so if you wanted to, you could turn this fully around. But looking at this again, you could see some of the details in the chest with that little gray circle. The paint's immaculate, which is awesome considering how much these things cost. I'm glad everything was done really well. And moving on down here to the back, again, you got the same white detailing with the line work. You got this one little red spot, which again helps to break up everything, but this guy looks awesome here. And then you've got again the little line work there with the gray accents, silver accents rather. That looks really cool. And moving on down to the back, you've got the spine. These sections here are soft rubber or soft plastic, if you want to call them. They are pretty much attached. I don't know if you can see it. They're kind of stuck in there in these little cylinder sections. And what that does is if you want to make them look up, these sections will kind of retract into there. These are soft and they are loose from here. So if you wanted to, you can pull these out. And they've done that so that, you have the ability to post the spine here and, some really nice positions. So you guys could see that. So at least this is soft, so you won't risk of breaking it, provided you're not going around pulling it like crazy. The spine here, again, some nice creepy range, as I like to call it. Again, you can move down probably about that much, and you can look up. As I said, you just have to make sure that these things kind of stay in place, so you end up with something like that. And you can rotate, but as you can see, the rubber pieces here kind of get in the way. You can pull them out if you want to. I'd rather not, but you can do that if you wanted to give them a full like 360. But again, I think the range that's there with these in place looks proper. Now, moving on down here to the arms. Proper creepy and long and slender. One cool thing is, again, you've got more articulation here on the bicep, so you can rotate this. And you've got your elbow. Again, it's just a single joint, but the cool thing is you can extend this. So if you guys could see right there. You can pull this out and then pull it out one more, almost like an accordion, and this massively increases the length of the arm, making it even more creepy than it already is there. So you guys can see this is a longer, fully extended arm. This is just a regular arm right there. There is also some more extension that you could do here. You guys can see that, pull it out if you wanted to. So again, he has this massive, really long arm there that you guys could see, looking proper creepy there. Once we look here at the hands, again, there's a ball joint here, so you can move that. These are individually articulated, which is pretty cool. You can move them any which way. Just be really careful. This feels like it's soft, so I wouldn't go around you know, moving things around too fast. They do move. You got some nice range, but again, just be really careful with it. And the detail again on the hand, it's pretty immaculate. The paint, the white here, the gray, the silver, it's really awesome. It's very satisfying the way this extends. You know, it doesn't feel like loose or anything, and it kind of sits right in place pretty well. So again, I think they've done an awesome job of putting this whole thing in place. As you guys can see, there's the elbow. And you push this back in. It's gonna push out, push in, like so. Moving on down, you've got here the waist. Again, nothing really moves here within the waist. So, but you got some nice black, dark gray, I guess, metallic gray. You've got this round white accent here, and then on the back is pretty similar. So the legs don't move from here, so I just be really careful to try and not to move. They move from here, from this pretty sizable ball joint. And you've got some nice, again, really good articulation here. That you could do, move things around with this guy. So pretty cool. Again, you just have to be really careful. The plastic, it feels nice in hand. It feels like it's quality. Some of it can feel really hard, so I'm just trying to be careful with not breaking anything. These legs can pop off. The instructions show you that you can pull them out and sort of reverse them to give them some additional posing if needed. You can do that. And then moving, looking on down here, you've got again more those white details. It is plain, but I think the armature or armor here that E.M.M.I is wearing looks pretty cool. These little sections here are soft plastic, and again, that's so that when you bend the knee, it kind of goes in place, and it's not that hard plastic that could potentially break. So you guys can see that that's again really cool that you've got some piston-like action when you extend the knees, but that's pretty much as far back as it'll go, and pretty much far forward as it will go here. Again, you've got, looking on the inside of the knees, you got the whole, you know, the screw here. And I love that they've added this additional detail here. It looks really nice in place. It's dark gray metallic. And then you've also got some additional articulation here. So again, this guy is not lacking in articulation. And if you want to make this guy even taller, the legs here extend out. So again, he's gonna have that very creepy bendy action here. Very tall. So again, that's really cool. And again, all these joints and everything kind of help to put this guy sort of like in that crouching pose when he's chasing Samus. So that's really cool. The last joint here is a ball joint here on the legs. Just be really careful with it. You can rotate it if need be. And you know, just make sure you pay attention to this section here, because then that allows you to move it up and down. And again, continuing the whole white with the dark gray, looking pretty cool. The toes, I'm gonna call them here, or these claws, these are not articulated in any way. It's just a ball joint here on the foot where you can get a lot of that movement. So don't try moving these, you'll probably end up breaking them. They kind of just sit in place, and you gotta just play around with the ball joint to you know, be able to get this guy in some cool poses. So again, some nice articulation for E.M.M.I here, and you know, you can get E.M.M.I in some really cool poses. I'm gonna play around with it some more, but not a lot of accessories. What you do get, again, does look really cool. As I said, I showed you guys this part here. I'm gonna switch these out. These come off from the side here, and you kind of just stick a fingernail in it and and you pry it out. Just be really careful. Oh, just came out flying. So it's gonna come out, and then you kind of just replace it with these. It should fit right in here. So it'll sit like that. And again, as I showed you guys, the difference is this has a little edging so that you could see here. Let's leave them headless for now, but this has a little edging here that this doesn't. So, and again, you would do the same thing. You pull this out and replace it with this. Yep. And then you can then take this and slide it in place. So these two sections slide into the these edges here. And let's see if I can. Yep. And then you're left with something that looks like that. And then you can just put this back here. Let's see if I can get this in. There we go. So if you wanted to have a little sentry look where he's looking for Samus, I think that looks proper. Again, pretty much what you saw in the game. And you know, you could put this guy in, I guess, like a crawling stance, right, if you wanted to. Just have to play around with the arms, etc. But for now, I mean, that's the best I can do one-handed here. And then you can just play around properly with the torso and the head. But there you go. So yeah, overall, this is a pretty awesome figure. Have him there just standing around, crouched down a bit, so he's not even really standing all the way up. And I think the plastic's really well done. A lot of the joints, right, the articulation that we have in this guy, I mean, everywhere, the arms, the shoulders that can be pulled out and everything. It's really cool. And, you know, whatever little detail they were able to include, again, which matches up pretty well with the game, I think they've done a pretty awesome job here. You know, this is one of the biggest Figmas that I have. I did pre-order the Ganondorf from Zelda, for the Legend of Zelda that they're releasing. So I'm assuming that one's going to be a pretty good size. I don't know if it'll be as tall as E.M.M.I here. So to give you a bit of an idea, here's the Samus from Metroid Dread. And this is them standing side by side. I know Samus is kind of in a bit of a running pose, but the E.M.M.I here is not even standing up all the way, you know, as much as you could take him. So it's a pretty good size, and there actually gives you a good idea of what these two kind of look like together. Of course, Samus there is in a bit of a running pose, so if you wanted to, you can put her a bit ahead, like she's running away from him. Right, so as I said, this is the biggest Figma that I have, because I also have other, you know, Metroid related Figmas. This is the Metroid Prime one, and granted she's in a crouching pose, but still, no contest there with the E.M.M.I. Here's the other M Figma, and again, she's in a bit of a running pose as well. So you guys can see what those look like together. We'll move them out. Here's a Mio Figma from Xenoblade Chronicles. Again, she's also in a bit of a running pose. I think I'm just gonna display these with E.M.M.I chasing them all and all running away from it. But that's the Mio from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'll move her out. Here's some Fire Emblem Marth. Again, the size is what's very striking on this figure. That's really cool. We'll move Martha out of the way, or Lucina. Here's the other one from Fire Emblem Fates. Really cool. And just because I had these laying around from a size perspective, for example, here is a, not that it has anything to do with it, but here's a Transformers figure. Let's move Samus out for now. And this is Grimlock. This is a pretty good size Transformer, by the way, if you're not familiar with them. And again, E.M.M.I height-wise is crouched a bit. It's still a taller than Grimlock there from the Autobots. So just imagine if you were able to, you know, if you extend all the joints and everything and put them on the stand, this guy will be much taller. So again, want to show the size scale there. Why not? This is some Storm Collectibles Street Fighter 2 Zangief. Again, video game related. E.M.M.I is much taller there. So again, really cool. And then I also had a Balrog if you're in the US, or M. Bison if you're in Japan. This is again Storm Collectible Street Fighter 2. Again, nothing to do with each other, but just want to show you guys the scale of E.M.M.I here, which is pretty cool. But again, overall pretty happy with this figure. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for me. Overall, really happy with this Figma here. My biggest Figma to date in my collection. I don't have many, but it's nice to finally have E.M.M.I here. This, again, I mentioned, I think retails for around $149. I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store, which I believe is now listed as sold out. Not sure if you can get it anywhere else, but I do think it's worthy addition to anyone's collection. Again, if you're into Metroid, or specifically Metroid Dread, and you know, love the character design from that game like I do, I think this is definitely worth it. Not a lot of accessories, but I think the size of the figure does make up for it. Love the pretty big chunky stand that they gave us, and again, I think it's an awesome figure. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, if you made it to the end, again, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.